I'd like to show you how easy it is to cut up pineapple. I learned this trick when I was a new bride, reading faithfully every page of the Betty Crocker cookbook. This is how they've suggested to cut pineapple, and I've done it this way ever since. First of all, you take the crown and you twist it off and discard it. I'm using a large cutting board today for illustration purposes, but I like to use a cutting board that has a little edge on it because the pineapple is juicy. So here I have it on my cutting board. Oh, and instead of a ledge, I have plenty of towels nearby because it is drippy. So you place it so that where the top was is facing you, and then you cut the thing right in half. You're partway there now. I like to quarter it. If it's a big pineapple, maybe you want to do it even smaller. Now that you've quartered it, that fibrous piece comes right off if you just slide right down there and set it aside if your children want to chew on it. Otherwise, it just is discarded. Now, hold on to the center of the pineapple and you go all the way around with your knife. I just heard that there's such a thing as a pineapple knife, although I've never seen it. But look, this bread knife cuts really well. Now, if you want bigger chunks, cut it down the center. If you want smaller ones, you can cut it in thirds. I'm going to do down the center because this is a smallish piece. So you take and just chunk away, slicing down the center, across the center line. Put this in the bowl and then scrape out the goodness that's left behind where your knife couldn't quite get it. Discard that and you're done. Watch me do this a second time. This is on a little bigger piece, so I'll cut this in smaller chunks. Down you go with the fibrous part, all around the bottom. In thirds. And that's truly a bite size. If you want to put it on a fruit plate, you want it a little bigger so they can pick it up with a toothpick, then I recommend the bigger one. Scrape out the goodness that's still stuck to the peel and discard, and you're done. I'm going to, after I do this final one, I'm going to do a whole one, and let's time it to see how long it actually takes me. And I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to cut. So we'll time it and see how long it actually takes if you've practiced at the pineapple. Sometimes a little debris gets on there, just wipe that off. Okay, so that is our first pineapple. And we're ready to do the timed test. So that whole pineapple took 2 minutes and 24 seconds to cut. That's not a lot of time to dread cutting up pineapple. And just remember that it's not that big of a task. Now, in the middle of my second pineapple, I found bad spots. If you look carefully, you can see there were parts that I was discarding. That sat on the counter 2 days too long. And so what you do is, if you find a bad spot, just cut it off and keep going. If you get in the habit of cutting up your pineapple when you get home from the store, that will not happen. So happy pineapple eating.